Now at 6, this is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
The effects of Hurricane Helene being felt in the south tonight. Debris and water covering communities, boats even making their way into front yards as the storm rolled through Florida. Good evening and thanks for joining us for the Fox 61 News at 6. I'm Brent Harden.
And I'm Bridget Bjorla. We are continuing to track Helene tonight, but here's what we know at this hour. After making landfall in Florida as a Category 4 hurricane, Helene is now a post-tropical cyclone. At least 40 people are dead across 4 states. Emergency crews are now rushing to rescue people trapped in flooded homes. And right now, more than 4 million homes and businesses are without power.
And as the storm starts to settle, organizations across our state are either stepping in to help or on standby, ready to deploy down south.
Tonight, Fox 61's Julia LeBlanc spoke with those who are answering the call for help.
From the Salvation Army to AmeriCares to the National Guard, so many people are stepping in to help after Hurricane Helene, whether from Connecticut or across the country.
We are in Florida outside of Tallahassee. We're making our way into Perry, where the bulk of the hit was taken.
Michelle Hartfield with Salvation Army Southern Territory heading into areas hit hardest by Hurricane Helene.
We will be providing meals, snacks, water, and then we have trained emotional and spiritual care specialists that go out and help.
While members of Connecticut Salvation Army haven't been deployed, they're ready to step in once people like Hartfield get a better look at the devastation.
A lot of them just need someone to listen. They're processing what they've experienced, and so we get to do that with them.
Teams with AmeriCares in Stamford also on standby as others from the organization dive into different flood zones.
We're just now hearing from partners about damages, but as everyone can see, there's lots of flooding, lots of power outages. Some partners are already reporting damage to roofs.
Kennedy Caskey and her team are health focused, getting survivors medications they need and restoring health infrastructure.
So we'll be working with clinics to replenish medicine, medical supplies, rebuild different clinics if they've been damaged.
And right here at home, the Connecticut National Guard deploying out of Windsor Locks Friday morning, headed straight for North Carolina.
We sent one CH-47 Chinook helicopter along with 5 soldiers to go down.
A call Major Mike Wilcoxon says the Connecticut National Guard hasn't answered since 2018 during another hurricane, but it's one he says they're prepared for.
This is something that we look forward to doing. We look forward to helping the states in any way we can, when we can.
We're also learning the Red Cross has sent down 7 volunteers to Florida to help open up shelters for the thousands of people who cannot make it back to their homes. We are in New Haven. Julia LeBlanc, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
All right, let's get a check on our local forecast. A lot of people wondering, are we going to feel any impacts here?
Yeah, Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frayne joining us now with what we can expect for the weekend. And Rach, we can say our weather is sort of tangentially related to the hurricane, right?
We're all connected here on planet Earth. And yes, we've got post-tropical system Helene. There's a front attached to it. And while we're not going to get any rain from this system, we do have enough moisture that the clouds kind of stick around. So certainly nothing significant. And it's not a weekend that's going to win any beauty contests, but at least we're good for outdoor plans and activities, and way better than anybody else who has been in Helene's path at all. And it looks like this storm is just stalled out over Kentucky and Tennessee, and it's just going to kind of do loop-de-loops, dropping more and more rain as we head through the coming days. Here's what that looks like, and we'll zoom in on our area or a little bit closer to home. You'll see those showers now approaching New York City. They kind of stop there, so we don't have any rain in the forecast for tonight, but with that system nearby all weekend, or that front nearby all weekend, then there is a chance for a light shower or a sprinkle in spots, especially for areas south and west of Hartford. This is 6 a.m. tomorrow. But again, notice most of the day is dry with mostly cloudy skies. As we head through the next several hours, we're dry. If you're heading to the Durham Fair, I don't anticipate any issues for that. Overnight lows will be right around 60 as we head towards daybreak tomorrow. And again, tomorrow's a mostly cloudy day, but we're still on the milder side with high temperatures climbing into the lower to middle 70s as we head through the afternoon. Just the slightest chance for an isolated shower or two. On Sunday, we're cooler with temperatures back down into the 60s and still a lot of clouds unless You live in northeastern Connecticut, it's going to get quite brighter there. We'll take a closer look at the weekend forecast and when eventually some of that leftover moisture from Helene really works in our direction next week, coming up.
Rachel, thank you. A Shelton man faces charges tonight for allegedly trying to bring a loaded firearm through security at Bradley Airport. Police say Joseph Salome had a loaded handgun in his carry-on bag. He told officers he did not realize it was there. The firearm and ammunition were seized as evidence. Salome was released on $2,500 bond and is due in court next month.
And new tonight, Vernon police made an arrest in connection to a more than year-long investigation into threats made against schools, churches, and other buildings.
They arrested a teen who was allegedly part of a global cybercrime network. Fox 61's Matt Caron has new details on the suspect, the group, and the victims of these threats.
Vernon police announced they've arrested a 17-year-old girl who is also a resident of Vernon. But it's possible that while this girl allegedly committed crimes, she may also have been a victim of them.
It has been a long time coming.
The Vernon police have arrested a 17-year-old girl following a more than year-long investigation into bomb threats and swatting incidents across the state, working in conjunction with the state police and FBI.
There is still some more work to be done, and hopefully some more arrests will come out of this.
Police say the teen, whose parents didn't know this was going on, did not act alone. She's allegedly a conspirator of a cyber criminal group known as 764.
We have talked to our neighboring countries as well as overseas about some of this.
According to the FBI, 764 targets young gamers on platforms like Roblox and Discord, using threats, blackmail, and manipulation to recruit them to commit violence, including murder, self-harm, sex abuse, and bestiality.
State police knew at the very beginning somehow it was connected to gaming in some way. But yeah, I didn't realize it was that big and that it would come all the way to Vernon.
Diane Trube is the vice president of Ellington's Historical Society, one of the buildings targeted by the teens' bomb threats. Trube showed Fox 61 that threat, which came by email, saying, "I have placed bombs inside. I will ensure many innocent lives are taken. I will sit and laugh. I hope you all rot in hell."
They actually hacked into an innocent person's email and sent the email from as if it was from this woman. The threats were obviously not real because of the way they were written, but it still uses all these resources. We had to call the police has to investigate, but at least as a result, they got to the bottom of who's really behind it.
In this case, the teen allegedly caused chaos at Rockville High School and other schools in Vernon and Ellington, along with churches in Manchester and South Windsor and a library in Hartford and Easton. The incident puts a spotlight on kids' online safety.
While you might not know what your child's doing, every minute of every day, particularly on the internet, is that, there's opportunities to kind of look to see if there's changes in them, right? Does their physical appearance look different? Is there behavioral changes? In that way, your kid best.
The 17-year-old is facing multiple charges. It's still not clear if she'll be prosecuted as an adult. She will be in court next week in Rockville. Reporting in Vernon, Matt Caron, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
All right, Matt, thank you. East Haven police investigating multiple burglaries in the areas of Ellis and Brazos Roads tonight. 2 suspects, they've been seen entering garages and stealing personal property. You see one of them there. Police shared these photos of the suspects and the vehicles they were driving, which officials say are stolen. Anyone with any information should ask the East Haven Police Department. Give them a call.
Well, Senator Richard Blumenthal is calling for possible criminal charges after multiple deaths and hospitalizations linked to a listeria outbreak from Boar's Head Deli meat.
The violations of standards here were repeated, reckless, and seemingly willful, and that's why I think there ought to be a criminal investigation and potential action against Boar's Head.
7 million pounds of deli products have been recalled since July, prompting the closure of deli counters across the U.S., including at Stop and Shop and Big Y stores here in Connecticut. Since last August, there have been dozens of non-compliances, including sanitary violations at Boar's Head's Virginia plant, where the outbreak originated. Senator Blumenthal now wants the USDA to work with the Department of Justice to conduct a criminal investigation.
The mayor of America's biggest city now officially under federal indictment, and he says he didn't do it.
CB Cotton has the latest from the federal courthouse in New York City.
Eric Adams has become the first sitting mayor of New York City to be arraigned on criminal charges. Adams arriving here at the courthouse earlier today with a massive media presence looking on. Prosecutors say for years he traded favors with foreign countries, including Turkey, in exchange for political influence. The mayor pleaded not guilty to all 5 counts, and his legal team says the accusations are political.
You can almost picture them trying to cobble this together and try to tell a story so that they could say corruption at this press conference. And, you know, they do that to tarnish him in your eyes.
Prosecutors are accusing Adams of bribery, wire fraud, and seeking illegal campaign donations, alleging he accepted free or heavily discounted overseas trips valued at more than $100,000. Adams says that's not true, but at City Hall, calls for his resignation are growing louder.
I hope that he will do the right thing for the city and the right thing for New Yorkers and step down.
Eric Adams is a disgraceful human being and a criminal, and if he loved New York City, he would resign.
But if Adams does not step down, the focus would turn to New York Governor Kathy Hochul, a political ally who has the power to remove him from office. She says she's reviewing the charges, but won't be rushed into a decision.
I will be deliberative, I'll be thoughtful, but we're going to come to the right resolution on what to do in this moment.
The mayor faces up to 45 years in prison if convicted on all the counts. In New York, CB Cotton, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.